Okay, let's set the scene. Imagine you're at the Schladming train station. It's late in the season, the air is thin and incredibly cold.
And you're there to finally meet them in person, Will, Albin, and Marcus.
People you've only ever known through a screen. And this is it, the start of a multi-day hike you've all planned for months, deep into the Austrian Alps.
The Dockstein region. It's beautiful, but, well, it's unforgiving terrain.
And this trip, it starts with this weird, surreal feeling, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The excitement of finally meeting is there, but it very, very quickly turns into something else entirely.
Something a lot darker.
A fight for survival against, well, against things that just shouldn't exist.
So you get to the local villages, Ramsau and Destin. You describe them as quaint, but almost aggressively quiet.
Like a movie set after everyone's gone home, and the people you do meet, say, at the restaurant.
They're just cold, unwelcoming.
Which is so important. Psychologically, you're already feeling like an outsider, like you don't belong there. It puts this pressure on you.
A pressure to prove you can handle it. Succeed.
Exactly. And that pressure, it leads right to the first catastrophic mistake.
You set off early for the Wadashtin loop. The weather looks perfect. I mean, crystal clear sky, bright sun, everything seems fine.
For about 2 hours. And then you see it just off the main path.
A rusted metal sign nailed to an old pine tree.
And it says, in this old German dialect, Geschossen wegen Unwetter closed due to severe weather. The trail is closed. Period.
But the sky is blue. There's not a cloud in sight. So
you just dismiss it. You figure it's old. Someone just, forgot to take it down from last season.
It's just bad luck, right? Or is it something more?
It's confirmation bias. You want the trail to be open, and the clear sky confirms what you want to believe. You ignore the one piece of actual evidence telling you to turn back.
And then, almost immediately, things get worse.
Or so you think at the time. Right past that sign, you find them.
Fresh footprints.
Not just any footprints. Sharp, clean, deep indentations. Boots, a little smaller than Albin's, but pressed deeper into the snow than yours.
And instead of being a warning, it feels like an invitation.
It feels like a solution. The isolation, the cold shoulder from the locals. Here's a sign of another person.
Someone who, as Will said, actually knew these paths, a potential guide.
A shortcut, a way forward. So you abandon the marked trail, what little there was of it, and you follow.
And the ground immediately changes. It's uneven, branches are snapped under the weight of the snow. You're properly off-piste now.
And that's when the whole environment seems to shift. The forest gets denser, the light starts to filter down, it gets dimmer.
And the sound. You said the sound just stopped.
The breeze completely died. That total unnerving silence, no wind brushing across your ears, that alone would be enough to create this immense psychological pressure.
And in that heavy silence, you find the first real impossibility.
You'd been following that single line of tracks for maybe an hour, heel to toe, very deliberate.
And then they just end.
They don't trail off, they don't get faint, they go right up to a patch of deep, untouched snow, and then nothing.
Gone.
Marcus tries to explain it away. He says a small drift must have covered them.
But it doesn't feel right, does it? The edge is too clean.
It feels wrong. But you're exhausted, you're demoralized, you decide to make camp.
You put up the tents, you make this overly salty stew, some warm cider to try and get some morale back.
But the feeling of the adventure is gone. The tension is just, it's palpable.
And then, in the middle of the night, that tension breaks. You hear a sound. Slow. Heavy. Something is circling the tents.
Marcus shouts out into the darkness, and you hear this scrambling sound, something heavy moving away, a 4-point rhythm.
And Albin, he knows that sound.
It's wolves.
A natural threat, a terrifying one, but at least it's something you can understand.
But what you find in the morning, that isn't natural at all.
You crawl out of the tent, and the snow is just covered.
Dozens of prints circling you. So close to the tent wall, you can see where the paws actually shifted their weight mid-stride. You were surrounded all night long.
And they attack. The nylon of the tent just rips open.
And you see these dull, liquid, yellow eyes. A wolf is inside with you. It bites. You feel the teeth on your collarbone.
And it's just chaos.
Yeah.
They're all stabbing with these small, practical knives. Things meant for cutting rope, not for fighting for your life.
You feel the first wolf go limp, but then you hear it from outside. This thrashing and thumping.
Yeah.
And then silence.
A dead silence.
And when you finally drag yourselves out of the shredded tent, you see it.
A massacre. But you were the ones who did it.
Not even close. Dozens of wolves are scattered everywhere. And they're not just dead, they're They're torn apart.
You describe a rib cage just split wide open, another one missing its entire jaw.
One without its front legs. The
Yeah.
damage is it's massive, far beyond what 4 terrified hikers with tiny knives could ever do.
And then you see the other prints, stamped into the snow all around the wolf bodies.
Huge, erratic, roughly human in shape, you said.
But the spacing made no sense. The depth was all wrong. Some were close together, others were stretched meters apart like something had just bounded across the clearing.
You had no energy to even ask the questions. You just walked, followed the sun, in total silence.
For hours, constantly feeling like you were being watched.
And then, a glimmer of what feels like hope. You see them again.
The same narrow, sharp human prints from before, running parallel to your path.
It's insane to trust them again, but what choice do you have? You're desperate for any kind of direction.
So you follow them for maybe 15 minutes.
And just like before.
They stop, just end, leading into clean snow.
And that's when Marcus stops. He raises his arm and he just points upwards.
You look up,
And it's there.
suspended, between the highest branches of a pine tree, just hanging several meters above the ground.
The description you give is, it's a nightmare. An unnaturally broad chest. Thick, corded muscles that look completely frostbitten.
The skin is torn, pitted, with patches of coarse fur still clinging to it.
And its head.
Long antlers, covered in moss and what looks like black frost.
But the legs are the worst part. Short, pale, and unmistakably human. Just swinging slightly. Far too small to support that kind of mass.
And its eyes, green, unmoving, and wide, staring right at you.
It's a monster from a myth, but it's real, and it's right there.
You don't even have time to scream. It just drops.
It hits the ground with this sickening thud, and it moves so fast.
It grabs Marcus by the waist, and it just slams him against a tree, again and again.
Until his body just folds, breaks at the base of the trunk.
And you run. You and Albin, you just scatter. Pure animal panic.
By some miracle, or maybe just dumb luck, you run back the way you came. You find your first campsite.
You hide in the sleeping bag, just waiting for what you don't even know until you hear it.
The rumble of an engine, voices, speaking German.
Mountain Patrol. They found you.
But they weren't looking for you. They weren't there because of a missing persons report.
They were there because of the wolves.
This is where reality just collides with your nightmare. Those wolves, they were part of a monitored pack.
Each one had a tracker implanted in it.
And all of the signals from every single wolf stopped transmitting within the same 30-minute window.
A mass failure. Something that had never, ever happened before.
To the authorities, that doesn't scream monster. It screams poaching. Highly organized, illegal poaching.
But the evidence, the scene, the way they were killed, the massive footprints everywhere, surely they saw that.
They saw what the law allowed them to see. They saw you, a tourist, in a camp surrounded by dozens of dead, protected animals, and your friend, Marcus, dead from massive, blunt force trauma.
So your story about the creature in the trees,
They dismissed it completely. The official theory was that trauma had distorted your memory.
that the cold, the blood loss, the shock,
Yep.
it made you hallucinate.
You have to understand, these wolves are strictly protected by national and EU policy. Killing one is a huge crime. Killing an entire monitored pack, that's a major criminal operation in their eyes.
So the system, it just defaulted to the facts it could process.
Exactly. And the fact was, you were there, and the wolves were dead.
And the result, 20 months in prison.
For illegal wolf killing. Your whole horrific, traumatic experience, seeing your friend murdered by something impossible, it was all written off as irrelevant, a symptom of a mind breaking under pressure.
So the journey ends not with a fight against a monster, but with a sentence from a judge, punished by the very real laws of the human world.
The takeaway here is just, it's brutal. Your personal, terrifying reality meant nothing against the objective data of those dead trackers. In a system built on evidence, a monster that leaves none behind might as well not exist.
Which leaves one final chilling thought. Considering the sheer violence, that unprecedented simultaneous failure of all those trackers was the court's refusal to believe you an act of pragmatic justice.
Or was it a terrifying failure to see the truth? A refusal to acknowledge that there are things hiding just off the marked path, things that our laws and maybe even our science have absolutely no way to explain?